Hey guys, Zach here. I know it's called football. Let's get started. 2-0, another one. That's 3 wins in a row. USA against Mexico, man. What a game last night. Of course, two of those wins netting us two trophies this summer, and the third one, of course, very important for our journey to the World Cup. Top of the group now, on top of Mexico, of course, through goal difference. It's funny because I watched a game yesterday, last night, in fact, with a couple friends of mine from work, and all three of them were pulling for Mexico. Of course, two of my friends have like family ties to Mexico, and another one of my friends just I think I don't know, just chose to root for Mexico for the hell of it, I suppose. Um, so yeah, I was very humble last night and very kind, of course, when we scored both goals, and it was a great time. But look, what's important is the World Cup qualifying is really on track now. You have to say the performances we've been putting together, with the exception of the loss to Panama during the last window, which was sort of rough to take, but you have to give credit to these players, give credit to the coach, of course, Greg Berhalter, for the performances that we've had since then. I think one loss, two draws. It's I think things are looking better, and of course, I can't stress enough how important that win against Mexico last night was. Of course, El Tree, the hat tricks of El Tree. The memes are all over the place. I have a lot of hostility, I think, towards Mexico. A lot of their fans tend to, especially on social media, and look, it goes both ways. I can't say it's just fans from Mexico, but I don't tend to see the same attitudes, the same like toxicity from the US fans, and it could be because I'm not on Mexico, their social medias, and I'm not under those things. I don't do that. I stick to who I follow. U.S. players, U.S. men's national team accounts, and so perhaps I'm a bit biased. Although I hope I'm not. I never try to be. But some of the shit that you see, people wishing for players to be injured, and a lot of it was Pepe and Pulisic hoping to be injured and stuff. And you know what? I'm not a big believer in karma, but I mean, it just makes victories like this all the more sweeter, in my opinion. So, look, lots to go through. I'll try not to make this video too long for you guys, but I just want to start with, of course, the main man, a Christian Pulisic, coming off the bench and instant impact. I mean, dude, he scored a goal within just a few minutes of coming on. And what I noticed when Timothy Weah was dribbling through, on that right hand side, and of course he's been dangerous the whole game, running up and down there, and you could see that run from Pulisic, that the run that he was making, and as soon as that ball went in, I mean, I knew you couldn't really miss that. And of course, the goal from Weston McKennie, a bit of luck, of course, that little dummy to get it through, and the little 1-2 there with Ferreira, and a bit of fortune, but the finish was certainly all skill and absolutely no luck in that. It was a bit strange, actually. Everyone's running around him to celebrate, and he's just kind of jogging off on his own to do his little Harry Potter celebration. I thought was a bit strange. Uh, you know, Whatever. I guess I thought it was odd. Uh, fair play to him, I suppose. Great goal, man. Great finish from Weston. Of course, he's suspended, and I'm going to get into a bit later on. I think it's probably going to be the majority of this video. In fact, is the horrific refereeing. Just from the referee on the pitch. I think the offsides were there was no real controversy over that, but I thought that referee had a horrible game, a shocker, absolute shocker. And I'll talk a bit about VAR, of course, also later on in the video. Just going through a couple players here, guys. Of course, Pulisic, I talked about. Weston McKennie, great game from him getting forward. Of course, we know how strong he is at doing that. Tyler Adams, the captain, been captain now for quite a few games, and with Pulisic out, he's really stepped up and becoming one of my favorite players. Excuse me, alongside, of course, Miles Robinson, who, if you've seen a couple of my videos before, you know what a fan I am of him. And of course, Anthony Robinson as well. Both of these guys, fantastic. Anthony Robinson running up that left-hand side, just terrorizing that Mexican defense, and multiple times, dribbling past and beating both players that were on him. Of course, didn't always do it. A couple times he found himself exposed, but good recovery from him. And all in all, very impressed by Anthony Robinson, of course, and also, Miles Robinson. Both really good games from them. Someone who flew under the radar a little bit, Walker Zimmerman, I thought played pretty well. Exposed a couple times. I think that through ball early on that Zach Steffen saved us from, that shot from Chucky Lozano. He was a bit exposed out, kind of caught in no man's land really, and Yedlin, great pace from him to get back, at least put a little bit of pressure on him, which goes a long way because of course you don't have a chance to go back and you're not going to cut it back, and did just enough, I think. And of course Zach Steffen, fantastic save from him, really earned his spot and his call up ahead of the impressive Matt Turner, of course, that we've seen all summer long. Like I said, Yedlin, I mean, he's playing the best he has, I think, for the U.S. team. A bit shocking, really, considering how it seemed that he was not on the way out, but you see Serginho Dest, really taking over that spot, of course, at Barcelona now. Injured at the moment, of course. But you have to say DeAndre Yedlin really was impressive last night. Fantastic in the air, even, and didn't really let too much past him last night. Zach Steffen, of course, I touched on. Musa, I thought he was okay. Found space. Did his job, and you don't have to have a spectacular, incredible standout game to make a difference and to have a good performance. I thought he did well. I thought he did enough, and it was a solid performance from him last night. Timothy Weah, my man of the match. If you ask me, I think a lot of people tend to agree with this. That was my man of the match. Of course, the assist for the Christian Pulisic goal that got everything underway, and he just looked great, man, on that right hand side. I think surely now you have to start him next game over Paul Arriola. And I'm not this guy who hates on Paul Arriola. A lot of these people, going back to toxic fans, I think the U.S. fans are more toxic towards their own players. When you see, Christian Roldan coming into the side or Paul Arriola coming into the side, the amount of tweets I saw in favor of his injury last international break when he had to be taken out is, I just don't get it. I really have no respect for players like that, regardless of what you think about this. You need to be supporting your players, and you know what? If you want to criticize someone, make a video, do something more than calling someone shit or wishing they're injured, and do something constructive. Don't hide behind your anonymity, whatever. And it's just it's a disgrace, man. It's a total embarrassment to this organization. So to all the people who do that, come on here and talk to me about it and tell me how you feel instead of hiding behind your, little anonymous accounts. Anyway, Brendan Aronson caused a lot of issues last night. Of course, I'll get into him and the I'll leave it for later. The Checo Rodriguez, just complete disgrace from him last night. I'll get into that later on, but I thought Brandon Aronson was dangerous. Looked good at the couple set pieces that he took, decent balls into the area. Pretty good game from him. Ricardo Pepi, a little quiet, missed a pretty good opportunity to put a goal past Ochoa, I think in the second half. But the link up in the first half, that ball he laid off to Yunus Musa, who he kind of shanked. You can see he's learning. He understands that role. If he doesn't have a shot, he has a clear idea of where he can play the ball into a dangerous area. And he saw Yunus Musa and just didn't hit it right. But I thought he did all right. Bit of a quiet game from him, but you can't always score a handful. So yeah, I would say Mexico probably could have been up before halftime if not for that Zach Steffen save. So again, brilliant from him. Nice to see Zach Steffen in there. Not that I was skeptical of him. Of course, he's a brilliant goalkeeper. Obviously, over there at Manchester City, been playing in the cup games, but the form that Matt Turner bet on, the way that the New England Revolution have dominated the MLS this season, I sort of just expected him, to start. But look, Zach Steffen, that's kind of what you want, a little bit of competition in there, and these two goalkeepers are going to continue to make themselves better, I think. So, big shout out to Zach Steffen for the clean sheet last night that he deserved, and a couple really good saves in there, you have to say. So well done to him. I think I said this early on in the video, but the first time since 1937, the U.S. or Mexico has won 3 games in a row. So, that's not a trophy in and of itself, but it can show you really the progress that we're making with this young side. I think Mexico, 10 players over the age of 30 last night, and obviously the U.S. didn't have a single player over 30 on the pitch last night. So, yeah, things looking really good for us. Just a little bit of stats here from the game. 18 shots for the U.S. last night, 5 on target, 12 fouls, 2 yellow cards, 1 red card. El Tri, of course, last night also their stats: 8 shots, 4 on target, 13 fouls, 2 yellow cards. I said this obviously a little bit already, but let's just move on to talking about the referee. Pardon me for not writing his name down. I guess I didn't do that. I won't look it up now, but look, he had a horrible game, the referee, for both sides. I'm not biased here. There were challenges that the U.S. put in against Mexico. Last night where I'm sitting there watching it with 3 people rooting for Mexico, and I'm not a bias. When the U.S. scores, I'm not getting up in people's faces, a couple fist pumps, a bit of banter, and I'm really, really not biased. And I have to say, there was a couple challenges the U.S. players put in for Mexico, and the referee didn't even call them. And you're just thinking, well, I mean, he didn't win the ball, or he was coming across him, and it went both ways. But really, there were a couple fouls from the U.S. I thought just should have been called, and they weren't. And look, this referee had a horrible game. He had no control over these players whatsoever. Couldn't control the players' personalities, and the yellow cards, in my opinion, came out too late, and he just gave them to the wrong people. I know Taylor Twellman spoke about the Zach Stefan yellow card during the Brendan Aronson, the Checa Rodriguez incident. He didn't come sprinting over into the referee's face. The play had stopped. I mean, a light jog over. I don't know what he said to the referee, but he's trying to make his point across, and the referee didn't have the patience, didn't have the ability to deal with this scuffle and these players, that the personality, the rivalry. He just couldn't do it, and he shows him a yellow card. Weston McKennie gets a yellow card. I'm not sure what for, unless it's something he said, of course. Obviously, we can't hear that at home. So I don't know what that yellow card was about. But the fact that we got 2 yellow cards out of that incident, and Checa Rodriguez gets only a yellow card, I mean, the more I watch it, it's a complete disgrace. The referee is standing right there. He's even looking at Brendan Aronson on the ground. So just to go over this, it's a foul on Brendan Aronson. The whistle's blown, right? He goes to take it quickly. Checa Rodriguez is kicks the ball from behind him. He's on his back. He's pulling at his shirt. Brendan Aronson's trying to get up. He's all over him, just straddling him. And then when you think it's over, the referee's already blown the whistle for another foul, at least to get Rodriguez off of Brendan Aronson. And he gouges his eye. I mean, I couldn't believe it that this was a yellow card. This referee is either blind or completely incompetent. It's one of those two options. It's one of the two, or he doesn't understand what is a red card. It wasn't a challenge on the ball. It wasn't even a challenge off the ball. The whistle had been blown. There was no play going on, and he gouges Brendan Aronson's eye. Even before that, I think could have maybe not merited a red card, but he should have done his job and broken it up right away. And he should have seen that. The eye that's an eye gouge. That is a straight red card. The fact that he only got a yellow, that we came away with 2 yellow cards, complete disgrace. This referee had a horrible game. I don't want to see this guy referee another U.S. game or any game, as a matter of fact, in CONCACAF. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw something that he wouldn't be refereeing any more games, any more World Cup qualifying games. Excuse me. It was a complete disgrace. Horrible game from the referee. Again, like I said, goes both ways. This is a straight red card. The referee there, Mark Clattenburg, straight red card. This is one of the most experienced referees in the world. Has refereed finals in Europe. Of course, a veteran in the Premier League, and he said himself, "Very lucky Checa Rodriguez. Very lucky boy" is the exact quote. In fact. Complete disgrace. Horrible from the referee. And if we hadn't won that game, I would have been much more angry. So yeah, fuck that guy, Checa Rodriguez, complete scumbag. and now because of that, Weston McKennie is suspended. And the only red card, as a matter of fact, was given to Miles Robinson. And I mean, it's a flop. I think it was Chucky Lozano. It's a flop from him. Miles Robinson doesn't even make a challenge. This guy drags his leg out, and just flops. And it's a second yellow, and it's a sending off. And in my opinion, our best center back is now going to be missing for the game against Jamaica in a couple days. So this referee just couldn't handle it. He could not handle it. And a lot of times you see referees sort of chasing the game in terms of, they're not making calls throughout the game, and then all of a sudden they feel like they have to do some making up. And they try to be strict, and they try to get control of the game, and this guy just completely lost it. I'm sorry, I feel like I'm rambling. I'm saying the same 6 words, but it's just so upsetting that CONCACAF has incompetent referees like this. And of course, no VAR is a huge issue. It's complete bullshit that the excuse is that these other countries don't have the facilities or technology to have. It's like, we'll go. I mean, put it in there then. I mean, it can't be that hard to have the ability to rewind a live game and to look at another challenge. I mean, it's a complete disgrace. You could get a laptop out there for a referee to watch a challenge, or for an assistant referee to be somewhere, put him in the fucking stands with a laptop, and give him the ability to go back 5 seconds. There's your VAR. I mean, complete disgrace. And the fact that Europe and most of the rest of the World Cup qualifying teams have VAR, I mean, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. Everyone has it or nobody has it, and that's the reason. The excuses that they're using for CONCACAF, and it's just a complete disgrace that you don't have the money to make sure things are going the right way and that things are fair. And I would be saying the same thing, if this was a U.S. player who had done something like Checo Rodriguez had done, or any tackle, any challenge. If it's a red card, it's a red card, and I don't want to be winning games because a referee can't do their job properly, or they're not given the proper technology or facilities to do so. I don't want to win a game like that. I have no problem admitting so-and-so should have been sent off for the U.S. or he was offsides, and it doesn't feel good to win games like that. But I'll tell you what felt good: winning that game last night, beating Mexico 2-0, and now being top of the group. So I'm just gonna close it up here. I think that's about all. No, excuse me. Let's just talk about who could come in now for the suspended Weston McKennie. Of course, I think probably without a doubt you're going to see Kellen Acosta come in next game against Jamaica. That does leave us a little bit lacking, I think, in terms of midfielders going forward. You do, of course, still have Yunus Musa who can get forward, but that Weston McKennie spot, no one really does the job like him. So, excuse me, let me check something. No one quite does the job like him. So it'll be interesting to see. Maybe formation is going to be changed by Greg Berhalter. Excuse me. So, yeah, we'll have to see what happens there. And of course, Miles Robinson also suspended. In my opinion, you bring Chris Richards in there. I thought he looked really good in his last start that he played. And of course, you still have McKenzie who can play. But in my opinion, Chris Richards would do the job better. So that's about it, guys. 2-0 win to the U.S. men's national team. Of course, top of the group on goal difference. El Tree, maybe next time. Keep playing dirty. Keep being scumbags. Keep trying to cheat. And, we'll see how far I get you. I will see you guys when I see you. Thanks so much for watching. Peace.